Mira had always loved exploring thrift shops, hunting for forgotten treasures, but nothing had prepared her for the discovery that night. A dusty old camera tucked behind stacks of books, its leather case cracked and worn. She bought it on a whim, thinking it would make an interesting prop for her photography projects. Back in her tiny apartment, she loaded a roll of films she found in the camera and waited for the developing process to finish. When the prints finally emerged, her stomach tightened. Among the pictures of everyday streets, parks, and cafes, she noticed a figure, a tall man in a dark coat, lurking in the background of every single photo. At first, she dismissed it as coincidence, but as she flipped through more photos, she realized something chilling. The man's face became clearer, his eyes looking directly at the camera, and in the last photo, he seemed impossibly close, almost within arm's reach. Her phone buzzed with a notification, and when she glanced at it, she froze. An alert from her home's security camera showed a dark silhouette standing just outside her window, perfectly still, with the same piercing eyes she had seen in the photographs. A wave of dread washed over her. The stranger wasn't just in the photos, he was real, and he had found her. Mira's hands shook as she backed away from the window, the shadowy figure remaining perfectly still outside, its presence almost impossibly silent. She grabbed her keys and camera, considering fleeing, but something compelled her to face the truth. Loading a fresh roll of film into the old camera, she stepped cautiously to her front door, taking a photo of the empty street outside. When she developed it minutes later, her heart nearly stopped. The same man appeared, closer than before, his gaze fixed directly at her. Panic surged as her mind raced. How could he move so fast, appearing in both reality and photographs before her very eyes? The next night, she awoke to soft tapping on her window. The man stood there again, his face partially obscured by shadows, but unmistakably the same stranger. Desperate, Mira began retracing the camera's history, discovering a series of old film rolls from previous owners, all depicting the same mysterious figure, appearing over decades, never aging, always watching. Each roll hinted at locations she had never visited yet felt eerily familiar, as if he had been waiting for her specifically. Mira realized that the stranger was not bound by time like a normal person. He existed outside it, watching and studying, and now that he had found her, there was no escaping the inevitable confrontation looming closer with each photo she developed. Terrified but determined, Mira decided to confront the stranger, taking the old camera and stepping out into the empty street under the pale glow of the streetlights. The air was thick, silent except for her own nervous footsteps. As she approached the shadow where she last saw him, he emerged fully into view, tall and impossibly still, eyes locked on hers with an intensity that made her stomach twist. "Who are you? What do you want from me?" she demanded, her voice trembling. The stranger did not speak, but lifted the camera she now held, peering through the lens at her, as if capturing her very soul. In that instant, the truth hit her. The camera itself was the vessel, a bridge between him and the living world, and every photo drawn from it drew him closer. With a desperate surge of courage, Mira smashed the camera on the pavement, shattering glass and metal. The stranger froze, his form flickering like a projection losing power, and then, as if erased from existence, he vanished. Mira stood trembling, the broken pieces of the camera at her feet, a mixture of relief and disbelief flooding her. But as she turned to leave, she noticed something on the final, undeveloped roll of film, a single photo of herself, standing there in the street, eyes wide, and in the corner, a shadowed silhouette that was unmistakably him, watching, waiting, promising he was never truly gone.